you just joined us on the System After Dark, this is a homegrown number courtesy of E3 and Cracker. Bulla, how's it going? I'm D, your host on the System After Dark, right here on Today FM. Today's hit music. You can catch me weeknights at 7 p.m. That's from Monday to Friday, only on the home of Today's hit music. And don't forget, that's D with you every weeknight on the System After Dark. Even got that homebrew flowing.
Tonight, more exchanges between MP Sotikodha and Speaker of the House. Free textbooks now due by the end of April. And tropical depression forms northeast of Lambasa. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. For the second time this week, Speaker of the House Dr. Chiko Luveni had to rise from her chair to intervene and bring order in Parliament. Akusita Tale reports this incident again involved opposition MP Ratui Sotikodha, who refused to follow the directives of the Speaker.
Can I continue?
Thank you. No, the point of order is noted. Honourable Member, the point of order is noted. Honourable Member, the point of order is noted. And I thank you.
As this week's sitting was about to end, opposition's MP Ratui Sotikodha stood on a point of order, the same issue he tried to bring up yesterday. He began by making reference to Sir Winston Churchill and Alexander the Great, but quickly exceeded the 30 seconds given to raise a point of order. This left the Speaker of the House confused.
Honourable Member. Honourable Member.
But
Honourable Member. Honourable Member. Please. What is the point of order? What is the point of order? Point of order is
Standing Orders 74. Read the point of order. But arms instrumentalities, as President Nelson called them, they are not sufficient by themselves. We must add to them the power of ideas.
What is the point of order, please? What is the point of order?
It is the Standing Order 74.
What does it say? Point of order is really addressing any deviation.
That's why I'm actually standing on point of order 74. It's a point of order, man.
What is the point of order?
Tikodha refused to take his seat while Dr. Luveni was speaking, even though this is required under parliamentary protocol. The Sodelpa MP continued to speak, despite interjections by the Speaker, forcing Dr. Luveni to again rise from her seat.
All the more powerful, because forbidden,
Thank you.
You terrify them. A little mouse, a tiny little mouse of thought appears in the room, and even the mightiest potentiates are thrown into panic.
Thank you.
They make frantic.
Honourable Member, I did give you time, but it seems that your point of order is still unclear, even with that time given.
Even as proceedings continued and the sitting was adjourned, the opposition MP continued to make remarks across the floor. Parliament has been adjourned to the 11th of May this year. Akosita Talei, FBC News.
A little over half of the textbooks for students from Year 1 to Year 13 have so far been distributed. Education Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy has told Parliament that all books under the free textbook scheme will be distributed by the end of next month. Eleanor Turangaivu reports this is a month's delay from an earlier deadline on March 31st.
Almost 9 weeks into the first term, schools are yet to receive the full set of free textbooks required by Year 1 to Year 13 students. The issue was brought up in Parliament this morning by opposition member Moses Mbulitabo.
Can the Minister explain to the House why school textbooks, as promised by the government during the elections, still has not reached the schools in Fiji?
Education Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy says 87 textbooks are needed for Years 1 to 13. So far, they have produced 49, of which there are 199,632 copies. The rest should be in the schools by the end of the first school term.
Remaining 38 textbooks, Madam Speaker, we have outsourced the printing to 2 other printers. So a total of 3 printers are operating at the moment. The government one, ERC Economic Resource Center, and Education Resource Center, and 2 private printers are there. By end of next month, we will finish distribution of all textbooks throughout Fiji.
Member of Parliament Ratukini Williame Kiliraki and opposition leader Rote Mumukepa demanded explanations as to how students will cope if no textbooks are provided. The minister says the delay in the distribution should not in any way affect studies.
Every teacher has a copy of the textbook. Every school have limited copies in the library for students to refer. Therefore, classes are going as normal. There's no question about it. It's just that some students do not have their own copy to take home.
Dr. Reddy says students' performance should be better this year because of the free textbook scheme. Eleanor Turangaivu, FBC News.
The Fiji Meteorological Service is monitoring a tropical disturbance to the northeast of Fiji. A strong wind warning has been issued for Lau and Lomaiviti groups, but the system poses no threat of forming into a cyclone. Christopher Chand reports.
Tropical disturbance 12F was located about 230 kilometers northeast of Lambasa this afternoon.
At the moment, it has a very low potential to develop into a tropical cyclone. However, it has got a moderate potential to develop into a depression, but we really cannot see that it's developing into a tropical cyclone at this stage.
The disturbance is expected to bring rain and strong winds, with warnings now in force for parts of the country.
Currently, we are having a strong wind warning for the land areas of Lomaiviti and the Lau group, and as well as the strong wind warning for the waters of the Lau waters, as well as the Lomaiviti group, Kandabu Passage and Vatuira passages.
The Lau and Lomaiviti groups could experience winds of up to 45 kilometers per hour, gusting to 60 kilometers per hour. TD12F is moving southwestwards and is likely to move towards Tonga in the next 24 to 48 hours.
We see that after the tropical cyclone Pam, there are trains of eddies still within the tropical areas, and these eddies are slowly picking up momentum and forming into disturbances.
The Weather Office will activate its severe weather bench to monitor the disturbance. At this stage, there is no major threat of it developing into a cyclone. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
Police are requesting information to help locate or identify a person who left a newborn outside the St. Christopher's home in Nakasi Nausori last night. A woman walking nearby heard the baby girl crying and found her wrapped in a cloth. The baby is now admitted at the CWM's Children's Ward. Anyone with information is requested to call the Eastern Division Command Centre on 9905 563. Still to come on FBC News, LTA to clamp down on overloaded trucks.
Ya bina pwede mwanto kwa chuma ini mwezi kama kwa Bula FM na mbundi wene siri na ngona ni ndende manda ke Central Rental Sapo peke na rusu na kuhita minichi meva na koloko. Ni Sabula.
Oya wa tisoni dalai.
Dua ngai mwezi dono.
Nama kikirau bina tolu kina bitu. Ena via kabi moliti kina porombuka.
Gori na lali ne kami. Bula FM na bandua ena siri.
My name is Luca. I live on the second floor.
Gold FM, only the classic hits. I hope you're having fun so far. You're listening to The Ride, and I'm Kara, taking you through your afternoon. Stay with me to listen to more awesome classics right here on The Ride. Bulabinaka, for awesome sounds in the afternoon. Wonderful, wonderful classics. Join me on The Ride every weekday right here on Gold FM, only the classic hits from 2 to 7.
Just don't ask me what it was. I think it's 'cause
Welcome back. You're watching FBC News. The Land Transport Authority will set up more weighbridges around Fiji to catch overladen trucks and cargo vessels. Transport Minister Piuti Kunduandua gave a detailed breakdown of the LTA's plans in Parliament today.
The Minister agreed in Parliament that overloading of trucks and heavy goods vehicles is a problem for road infrastructure in Fiji. The Land Transport Authority isn't blind to this.
For the permanent way bridges, LTA is in collaboration with Fiji Roads Authority, pulling in resources to increase the number of permanent way bridges around the country. And the focus of this, Madam Speaker, is on loading sites in whole areas of Vitilevu, in particular in the areas of Nandi and Singatoka Corridor, Bua to Sianganga, Nosori to Nayabu, and also Nosori to Nabua. Also, the mandatory weighing is conducted at our port of entries, as I alluded to earlier, so this is the King's Wharf in Suva and the King's Wharf in Lautoka.
Piuti Kunduandua adds that 3 new portable weigh bridges will be bought by the LTA this year so they can conduct snap checks on heavy goods trucks. There's also a proposal for all trucking companies to carry their own weighing equipment so that vehicles aren't overloaded in the first instance.
LTA has also implemented a 24/7 overloading operation on permanent way bridges, which is actually being earmarked to commence here in 2015. The intention here is for these sites to become mandatory inspection areas for heavy goods vehicles that transit the way bridge site. The intent is to place surveillance cameras in these locations too.
LTA enforcement teams are stationed at all ports of entry and along the main highway to inspect vehicles. Kunduandua says they're also in talks with the Fiji Sugar Corporation, Fiji Pine, Fiji Hardwood and other similar operators. These sectors largely make up the bulk of cargo vehicles and heavy goods trucks. Edwin Nand, FBC News.
The Itaukei Affairs Ministry has sent out a warning for people to stop trading in fake tambours or whale's tooth. Senior ministry official Ro'ada Mataitini told the Rewa Provincial Council the issue needs to be addressed at the village level. Watisoni Rakandroka reports.
There is a market and an outlet for fake tambua which the Itaukei Affairs Ministry is now tracking. Provincial leaders of Rewa have been told that most people are knowingly using fake tambuas.
To all the members of the council, we should take this matter seriously and see if some of us are keeping this fake tambua. And the reason I'm showing this to us because we are communal in gathering.
In the most recent case, a fake tambua was bought for $500 for a marriage ceremony, but the bride's father later discovered was made from fiberglass.
Some of us still using this fake tambua despite warnings, and the ministry is hoping that the chiefs of Rewa will consider this issue.
Ro'ada has called on these traditional leaders to send a clear message that fake tambuas are not to be used under any circumstances, and all such cases are to be reported to the ministry immediately. The Ministry of Itaukei Affairs is advising the public to be cautious because people are deliberately selling fake tambuas to make easy money. More than 100 fake tambuas have been confiscated so far. Watisoni Rekanroka, FBC News.
Fijians accessing the free medical scheme as the Ministry of Health has already begun distributing medicine to private pharmacies. There are 72 medicines provided, of which 62 are deemed essential, while 10 are over-the-counter medicine. The drugs were selected by a specialist group at the Fiji Pharmaceutical Services. Opposition member Salote Randrondro suggested the list be expanded to include medication for NCD patients because it kills thousands of people.
As I speak right now, out of this list of 772, a total of 50 items have been distributed to all the designated private pharmacies nationwide that answered in the affirmative to the expressions of interest that was sent out some time ago inviting them to participate in this program.
Another 12 items will be distributed by mid-April. We turn to sports now. Here's Jamie with the latest.
Nakataki and good evening in sports. After the break, Ben Ryan names Vodafone Fiji's 7th side for Hong Kong and Tokyo 7s, and Telecom Fiji Warriors geared up for Pacific Challenge final. This and more coming up.
Gold FM, only the classic hits. Beautiful song from the group Firehouse and When I Look Into Your Eyes. Before that, you heard from Smokey Robinson with One Heartbeat. We'll take a short break and join us in the next hour for more music from Seal. Bula. I'm DJ Tora. Join me every weekdays, 7 until midnight on the Premium Classics. Right here on Gold FM, only the classic hits.
छू 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 हे हे नमस्ते फीजी, आपके हर एक प्रॉब्लम की दवा लेकर मैं आ गई हूँ 9 से 12 बजे तक आपकी सहेली रेनू। छू 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 40 में 20 का दिखना है। मैं हूँ ना आपके साथ में मिर्ची एफएम पर 9 से 12 बजे तक मंडे टू फ्राइडे। मिर्ची इट्स हॉट।
Welcome back to FBC Sports. Vodafone Fiji Sevens coach Ben Ryan has made 4 changes to his squad for the Hong Kong and Tokyo Sevens tournaments. 21-year-old forward Josiah Weenie is the only uncapped player in the team, with veteran Pio Tuai set to make a miraculous return to the international arena. Talenta Dakadaka reports.
Josiah Weenie will be making his international debut in the World 7 Series after being named in the Vodafone Fiji 7 squad. The 21-year-old Toka Toka Westfield Barbers forward was a standout during the Fiji Bitamari 7s as well as the 2-week training camp in Deomba.
Philip, then I joined the 12 squad members to Hong Kong and Japan.
Sometimes in attack he reminds me of Isoa Damandamu, the Old England forward that I had. He's got a good strong handoff like Isoa, and he's got a long gliding sidestep like him as well, but he's a tough kid.
A tough lineup was announced at Uprising Resort in Deomba today. Making their return to the World Series is halfback Aminoni Nasilasila and rugged forward Apisa Intomalelai. Pio Tuai overcame fitness issues after a 3-month stint in Sri Lanka to make the final cut.
Yeah, nothing is possible, but it depends what we have in the field. But I thank the boys for their support. But I know only my skills and all the things that I can do in the field, but the boys only support me.
The team flies out on Monday for Hong Kong, where they will be joined by France-based Samisoni Biribiri. Ryan is adamant that this team will be hard to beat on game day. Talento Vakadak, FBC Sports.
The TFL Fiji Warriors will be ironing out their weaknesses over the next few days in preparation for the final of the World Rugby Pacific Challenge against the Argentina Panthers. Following the first 3 rounds of competition, the side has identified areas that need rectifying before the final. Team captain Nemani Nangusa says if they are to match the Panthers, they'll need to improve some aspects of their game.
Next few days should be just polishing up on set pieces, doing the little things right, which will contribute to a bigger outcome of the game.
The World Rugby Pacific Challenge final will be played at 5 p.m. at the ANZ Stadium next Monday. The victorious Fiji under-19 cricket side was hosted to a special treat at the Holiday Inn in Suva last night. The team was rewarded after winning the recent ICC East Asia Pacific Under-19 trophy and booking a spot to the World Cup in Bangladesh next year. Tsale Ndawdakadaka has more.
The Fiji Under-19 side were treated to an awards ceremony to honor their remarkable achievement in becoming the first national team to qualify for a Cricket World Cup. Chief guest, Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama, was on hand to congratulate the players and even gave them pocket money.
We are here not only to celebrate your victory, but to also recognize each of you as fine ambassadors of Fiji. By winning this qualifier, you have gone further than any other young Fijian cricket team before you. You are bound for the World Cup in Bangladesh next year to proudly take the field alongside global cricket heavyweights.
Cricket Fiji says the occasion will be another motivating factor for the players to strive for greater achievements at the World Cup next year.
We feel like now that we have the whole country behind us, and it's very good we have the Prime Minister here with us. I think now with the men, with the busy schedule that he has, and he's given time to be here tonight, come and do the celebration together with the boys.
The squad will take a short break before resuming its preparations for the 2016 World Cup in Bangladesh. Chalendo Takatak, FBC Sports.
A 10-member Fiji athletics team left the country today to take part in the New Caledonia Invitational competition. The team has a good mixture of youth and senior members and will compete against athletes from around the region, including Australia and New Zealand. Coach Makele Simbatimala says they are hoping to gain a lot of exposure, which will assist preparations for the Pacific Games.
The expectations from us athletics and as coach for the athletes to perform well and go for their best times, and also try and meet the qualifying standard for the Pacific Games.
The Pacific Games will be held in July in Papua New Guinea. Andy Thakambau Secondary cruised to win the Triple N Zone Girls title at the NZ Stadium in Suva today. The Waimanu girls dominated the track and field events and have given a strong warning to other schools that will be competing at the Coca-Cola Games. Leline Memorial School took out the boys' title, with Sila Central finishing in second place. Meanwhile, the Coca-Cola Games will be held on the 24th and 25th of next month at the NZ Stadium in Suva. Records have tumbled on the first day of the Nandi Secondary School's Athletics Zone meet. The event began at Prince Charles Park with a total of 12 schools competing. All records set today were in the field events. Penaisia Finau of Voto Levu College broke the first record of the day in the junior girls high jump by clearing a height of 1.31 meters. All records broken today were only set last year. The tournament ends tomorrow at Prince Charles Park in Nandi. That is your sports for this evening. It's back to Jackie now.
Westpac is encouraging girls to take a positive step towards fulfilling their educational potential by applying for the 2015 Westpac Women's Education Grants. The grant, which offers financial assistance to help with educational cost, was launched at St. Anne's Primary School in Suva today. Westpac has been offering the educational assistance since 2011 to primary, secondary and tertiary students.
All they need to do is answer one question, and this year's question is based along the lines of the theme for the International Women's Day, which is Make It Happen. And the question is, what are the 3 things in your country needs to make it, in order to make it happen for the women? So all they need to do is write an essay, and the grants are all about, then they'll be judged.
So far, 45 students have benefited from this program. It's International Day of Happiness today. Tourism Fiji launched a social media-driven campaign by running an Insta-meet and a digital campaign to celebrate the day. A group of 4 world-class influential Instagrammers were flown into Fiji, the happiest place on earth, to capture Fijian happiness over 7 days at different locations and share it with the world. People are being encouraged to post an image of what makes them happy. A video will also be produced to document International Happiness Day in Fiji. March 20th has been declared as the International Day of Happiness. Cloudy and rainy weather conditions were over Vanuatu, Lau and Lomai VT Group, Kandavu and nearby smaller islands and the eastern and interior parts of Viti Levu. Elsewhere, fine weather prevailed apart from afternoon or evening showers. Warm temperatures prevailed over the Fiji Group, with most centres recording 31 degrees this afternoon. Only Sabu Sabu was 29. Tomorrow's forecast is for fine conditions with a possibility of afternoon showers. Outlook for Sunday, occasional rain over most places, southerly winds 20 to 25 knots, rough seas. For the rest of Fiji waters, south to southwest winds 15 to 20 knots, moderate to rough seas. And recapping our main stories, Speaker of the House had to interject opposition MP Isoti Koda for the 2nd time in a row. Free textbooks now due by the end of April, and Tropical Depression 12F develops northeast of Mombasa. This week's poll question, we are again asking, should Piotr play for Fiji in the Hong Kong Sevens? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page, FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That's all from us tonight. Join Akosita Tale from tomorrow. I'll be back again on Monday. Till then, have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Ni mo demanda.